And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to a new video, and this one will trigger some of you. If the last video I did that got like no views about the EV mandate being overturned by, I'm not even going to say his name now, because it feels like if you even talk about anything to do with politics, that YouTube makes your videos go nowhere, or maybe nobody was interested in it and it's just not getting views. Maybe the video sucked. Who knows? Bottom line is, it triggered so many people in the comments. So that was not my intention. I even spent a big part of the beginning of the video telling everybody, hey, look, let's just get along, man. Let's not freaking fight about politics. This is just information that I'm sharing. Didn't matter. I still got blasted. I got pounded in the comments by people. So here's the deal. This one is likely to trigger some of you, and you're going to call me a hypocrite. You're going to call me... It's all good, okay? Because I'm not. Because the bottom line, what I'm going to share with you all is, I'm going to challenge Dodge and Stellantis to build an EV that would be worthy of buying. And remember, in my last video, if you did watch it, you heard me say this, so I'm going to say it again. I have no problem with EVs existing in the universe. I don't. What I have a problem with is forcing them down our throats. That's the issue. I have no problems with almost anything in the world until you start forcing it upon me, in which case I become very resistant to having things forced upon me. And having EVs forced upon us is the biggest issue that I have. I believe EVs have a place in the world for people who like EVs, who they work for, they fit for, you could charge at your house, and you only drive a certain amount every single week, so you don't spend a lot of time at the charging stations and all that. So I have no problem with them coexisting in the world with our glorious Hemi V8s and other fun cars. And let me just preface what I'm going to say next with, I have a lot of horsepower, or at least a lot of gasoline hogging vehicles in my driveway for anybody to think that I am like hugging the crap out of any trees.
You want to spank you? You want to be spanked? Huh? You want me to spank your booty?
When I explain my challenge to Dodge in a second, because I own a V10 610 horsepower Lamborghini Huracan LP610-4. It is a monster. It is a beast, and the exhaust will be on it, I would say, by the middle of next month. It will literally probably crack windows and set off car alarms everywhere I go. So that car is a gas hog. I mean, it just is what it is. I daily drive this Scat Pack Special Edition 6-speed manual swinger. I have a 4.6 liter V8 Crown Victoria from 2008 police car. If you've watched the channel a while, you know I bought that thing on a whim, and it's the coolest car ever and is just a workhorse, and definitely not the best on gas though, but not horrible. We also own a Land Rover Defender, and when I say own, I mean we lease, because when that lease is up, that thing goes back. It's already been in the shop like 4 or 5 times. I'm not allowed to even talk about it because my wife will get mad at me, make me sleep on the couch, because she loves that thing. But it's a supercharged 6-cylinder, you know, big, huge SUV thing. And that thing gets not the best gas mileage. And then we also have my daughter's car, which is a 2-seater Supra GR. And bottom line is, we've got all this horsepower. So we certainly are not EV owners and drivers. But I'm going to just admit to this right now with all of you. I have, at times, ever since I got to ride in a Tesla Plaid, thought, holy crap, I've never ridden in anything that is so freaking insane and downright almost terrifying and exhilarating at the same exact time than a Tesla Plaid Model S. Now, my wife and I did ride in a Taycan Turbo S, which was insane when they put launch control on. The Plaid was, at least to me, even more insane and pretty terrifying. I mean, it's screaming fast. More on that in a second. So if I was to drive an EV, which I think one with 300 to 350 miles in range might work for me with a lot of my commuting around my offices for my day job, and we do actually have a Tesla charger that is in the house we recently moved into, so it would work just fine. I canceled my Cybertruck, but I could easily fit a Tesla into our life. And with prices having been dropped so much on those things, why not? I mean, hell, I can get one of the fastest cars ever built for around 85 grand and literally just snap necks with the torque that that thing produces in the Plaid. If Dodge would make the Banshee able to beat the Tesla Plaid Model S, which means it'll have to do 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds, 1.99 seconds. It'll have to do the quarter mile in about 9.2 seconds, and it'll have to do 200 miles an hour. And it'll have to come with at least 350 miles in range, and it'll have to be priced under $85,000. If Dodge launches the Banshee that will beat the Model S Plaid, I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you, Dodge. I'll buy one. I'll buy one just because you're saying it's going to have all these cool modes, donut mode, drift mode, all that stuff. I'll buy it just for the channel, just to show it off. Yes, I will be a turncoat, and yes, I will support Stellantis and Dodge if they do that. But let me be real clear, and you can subscribe and follow along to see if this happens. I am so confident that there's no way in hell that Dodge and Stellantis will deliver this Banshee to beat the Plaid. And if they do, they're going to overprice it. It'll be $20,000, $30,000 more. If they do, it won't have the same 200 mile an hour top speed. If they do have the 200 mile an hour top speed, and they do get the quarter mile, and they do get the 0 to 60, they're going to have 250 miles of range, just like their Scat Pack and their RT that they're launching, which is horrible range. If they can hit every one of those metrics, if they can get the 0 to 60 faster than 1.99, the quarter mile faster than 9.2, the range at or above 350 miles, which they have not done, at least in the new Scat Pack that's coming out and the RT, if they can hit a price under $85,000, I'll tell you right now, I'll buy one. I will buy one going against everything I believe in. But I'll tell you, I'm willing to bet anything. I'm willing to bet this commitment to you all that there is no way they can do it. And this is the purpose of this video, to get this point across to Stellantis and Dodge, is that Tesla, and I said this in my last video, Tesla is going to mop the floor with you. They are going to make so much fun of you when you try to launch this Banshee thing. And you'll launch it with all kinds of fanfare. You won't have Tim Kuniskis, the best Dodge salesman in the world. You'll have to figure out how to do it with the new dude, which I'm sure he's great, but I don't think anybody can compare to Tim. And you're going to say how fast it is, and then Model S Plaids are going to come in cheaper, faster, higher top speed, more range, and mop the floor with you. And here's why I believe that, and which is going to be horribly sad, and it's going to kill sales, because they have one chance to pull this EV thing off right, and at the very least make headlines for building something that can smoke a Plaid. That's what they gotta do. Some say, and if you watch or at least go and read the Mopar Insider's website, it's a great website, lots of great information. They just did an article on this new Banshee that's coming out, that they believe that Dodge might even come out with this thing and have it beat the Demon, meaning 0 to 60 1.66 seconds or faster, quarter mile under 9 seconds. They believe that that may be an option. They believe the horsepower might be around 1,300 plus horsepower. If they do that, they will make headlines, and even people who don't like EVs will say, well, I would like to drive something that I can easily kill myself in. That looks like a fun car. Even though it's an EV and doesn't make all the cool sounds, even though it probably will make some stupid sounds from the fake exhaust, it's going to definitely be exhilarating and terrifying to drive. I'm willing to set aside all my reservations with electric cars and say, if they can do this, I will buy one. How about that? I will walk in and stroke the check and buy one, depending on interest rates. If interest rates are good, I will borrow the money and I will get one, and I will show you what it can do. But here's what I think is going to happen, because that car is going to be almost 6,000 damn pounds. They're not going to be able to get the range right, and they're not going to be able to get the top speed right, for sure. Now, if they can get the 0 to 60 right and the quarter mile right, they have half a chance. But what's the point of driving one of these things where it's going to burn through the range so fast that you can't even really have fun with it, because you'll have to go sit at a charger forever? And one other thing would make this just seal the deal is if Stellantis can make a deal like Ford's been working on doing, make a deal with Tesla to be able to utilize their superchargers. If they do that and they match that price of $85,000 or less, they got a chance against Tesla. Otherwise, for the same exact money, why wouldn't I go buy a Tesla, pay an extra $100 a month and get full self-driving, and have a car that's proven it won't have any of the glitchy issues that the Banshee's likely to have, because it'll be first year run, and they'll smoke everything on the road. But here's the deal. They've already flopped before they even launched the 2024 Scat Pack and RT EV Daytona chargers. They've already flopped because right now, launching the 2024s, which they're not even out yet because of, quote, glitches, but when those come out, they will come out with the stage kits in them already, meaning that the next year's Scat Pack and RT will be slower, maybe slightly more range, but they will be slower. Doesn't matter, the top speed's only like 134 miles an hour in that range for both of them, and the range is under like 250 miles on these things, so that's ridiculous, and that's in optimal conditions. And they weigh 5,800 pounds. And here's the punchline. The punchline is that for about 40, let me see here, I've got it here on my screen, I'll put it up for you guys to see. For $42,490, you can buy a Tesla Model 3 Performance and get 163 mile an hour top speed versus like 134, and 303 miles of range, and 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds versus the Scat Pack Daytona EV, which is going to come out and have like 240, or I think it's less than that even, miles of range, and do 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. So it's going to be slower than this thing, and I guarantee you, when they come out with pricing for that Scat Pack, it's going to be obnoxious. I guarantee you they're going to be running in the 60s, if not the $70,000 range. And why in the hell wouldn't you just go buy a Model 3? Well, Brad, because, you know, the Dodge has that R-Wing and it's going to look so much cooler. I don't know that it does, and I don't know that I need to look that much cooler if I have to sit at, you know, level 2 charging stations for hours, when I can, with the Tesla, literally go and charge in 20 minutes and get back to 80% and then smoke every single Scat Pack EV on the road and pay less money. I'm going to bet it's going to be close to $20,000 less. If they launch that Scat Pack and they launch it under $50,000, they might have a chance. But you know Stellantis isn't going to do that, because they think they're a high-end luxury brand, and that is hilarious. And you know what? Some would say that the Tesla Model S is a luxury car, and it's a high-end car. Well, for $85,000, the Tesla Plaid Model S is a pretty badass car and pretty insane. But Brad, it looks like a melted jelly bean, like Tim says. I don't give a damn if it looks like a freaking shoebox. That sucker will do 0 to 60 in 1.99 seconds and gives me 359 miles of range and 200 mile an hour top speed, and will smoke almost anything out of a dealership down the quarter mile, including, and I'm sorry folks, demons all day long, unless everything's working on your side with that demon, then maybe you got a chance. But that Tesla will do it over and over again with a 16-year-old teenager chewing bubblegum behind the wheel. So I will tell you, I'm not a fan of EVs. I hate EVs, and I can tell you, this challenge will not come true. But I'm willing to put it out there and say that when they come out with this thing, if they do meet my demands,
$1 million,
then my happy ass will pinch my nose and saunter into a dealership, write a check, and buy one of those Daytona EVs, Banshees. I will do it, because frankly, if it's faster than a Plaid with the range and everything else, what the hell? I'll do it just for the channel, just to have fun and something with all those cool drive modes they're saying it's going to have. So with that, everybody, let me know what you think in the comments below. Have I lost my mind? Or do you agree that Dodge won't do it and I'll never have to buy that thing? But I thought I would throw it out there because before they get that thing into production, I wanted to give them the advice that I think they need to hear, so they have half a chance to pull their heads out of their asses and build this Banshee EV the way it should be built if they want to compete in the EV universe. Because right now, with Tesla having over 50% of the market and nobody getting anywhere close, Dodge is likely going to get their asses handed to them every single time they launch an EV. Because if you compare it to a Tesla, the Tesla's going to win. I don't care what you think about what the thing looks like. Performance-wise, range-wise, things that count in an EV, they win. So, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.